One day, you'll realize that your parents are not perfect. Or maybe you already know that. They have their own baggage and mistakes, and sometimes they get things wrong. When you realize this, it can feel like a betrayal or a disappointment. If your parents misunderstood you and your circumstances, gave you bad advice, or mistreated you, how can you really trust them, right? But all of us, just like our parents, are human. For as much as our parents may have messed up or misunderstood, we often do the same. It doesn't mean that everything a parent does wrong is justifiable, but it does mean that we have to see everything in perspective. Many people find themselves sympathizing with their parents as they themselves become older and take on bigger responsibilities and harder choices. The more we face life and all its difficulties, the more we can empathize with the imperfect ways other people handle those same difficulties. The Bible itself has many stories of fathers setting bad examples for their sons, of generational cycles of dysfunction, and repetitions of failure. Take Solomon. His father was David, one of the greatest kings of Israel. But David's relationship with Solomon's mother, Bathsheba, was anything but great. Their story was full of manipulation, abuse, and even murder. And Solomon ultimately made a lot of similar mistakes to those of David, his father. But despite all of that dysfunction, Solomon still respected both of his parents. He attempted to carry on the good parts of his father's legacy, and he honored his mother by giving her a place of power beside his throne when he became king. Most of us will have some kind of issue with our parents at one time or another. Some situations are more serious than others. But outside of abusive situations, in most cases, we should try to be patient and understanding with our parents. Many times, the very areas where they struggle the most may also be places where they can offer us deep wisdom through their experiences. In the controversial film The Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker faces the regret and shame that comes with failing not only as a teacher, but as an uncle, in some ways a second father figure to his nephew, Ben Solo. On the other hand, this story also shows us how a resentful young man understands all too late that the imperfections of his older family members contained lessons he could learn and grow from. When the people you look up to disappoint you, ask yourself what you can learn from it. Do you give up on these mentors forever, as you might in situations of abuse, or do you make space to work out your differences with them and learn from their mistakes? The fifth of the famous 10 Commandments instructs people to remember and care for their parents in their old age. Remember, parents are fallible, fragile people just like any of us, and one day they'll become dependent on their children to care for them. We can always choose to become better, even when our circumstances are hard. Whatever you learn from your parents' strengths and weaknesses today will one day be something you can pass back to them.